emotions. Emotions from Islamic perspective, they serve as a test of our sincerity in faith. As well, they sometimes can be used as a means of purifying ourselves, so spiritual purification, but also a platform to build our character. So we're talking here Tarabiyah. I want to show you something. I want to show you something which I truly hope is going to make it easier for you to comprehend what we are discussing here. So on left, right, and middle side of the page, you will see different types of emotions. And the ones that are clearly creating a better version of us, they are called virtues in Islamic healing, and those which clearly need attention and create hedonistic, sometimes diseased state of our souls, they're called vice. So virtue and vice in theory is something that we use in Islamic healing a lot. And in between, we have a platform of improvement. Okay, so as you can see, the emotions, they can be quite transcendent in their nature. And from Islamic perspective, what is really, really important is to pay attention to those which are negative. So things like anger, jealousy, envy, laziness, despair, which is something even deeper than depression. Pride, showing off, those emotions, they are considered as a diseases of the heart, and some of them also as a sins. So this is something really serious, because you want to take your soul into eternity, and you want to end up in Jannat Firdaus, inshallah. So this time in dunya, those experiences, those emotional experiences, you want to transcend. So what I mean by transcendence, I mean spiritual transcendence, all right? So the pathology of your heart, of your spiritual heart, has been described in Quran in verse 9, verse 7, and by the soul that he who proportioned it and inspired it with wickedness and righteousness, he has succeeded who purified it, and he has failed who ruins it. Okay, so what you've just seen before, this is exactly what Quran says to us. You will have virtues and vices, you will have your strength and you have your weaknesses. You will fall down and you also have chance to get up, and you will succeed in terms of eternity of your life, of your existence as a soul living in this body, provided that you pay close attention to its transcendence. Okay, so the ability to rise emotions from low intensity to high intensity, meaning from your vice to your virtue, is something of a conquest for all of us, to be honest, because we're just humans and we're all suffering, all struggling with the same emotions, but for different reasons. They sort of appear in our life because of different situations, but we all subjected to the same emotions, if that makes sense. So if you find yourself finding new meanings in your life, and you start asking yourself those existential questions, what I'm doing here in this relationships, why does this or that happens to me, and you're finding yourself that you seeing your patterns, your habits, and you recognize that they are not really effective, they kind of maladaptive, they negative, then be sure that you're on the right path. Then be sure that this is what it's actually expected from you. You want to be conscious, you want to be aware of your emotional experiences, and you don't want them to take over you, that right? So the importance of transcending your emotional reactions from being hedonistic, so from being at the side of being diseased heart, where it's all about self-gratification, moving away from them into spiritual liberation, gets you closer to the purpose of your creation, which is, the mere fact that you created is to worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So that's what I meant. Your emotions are actually a test here. The way you create it can be a test of your ihsan. And Quran in Surah 3, verse 169 says to us, you must not think that those who slain in cause of God are dead. They are alive and well provided from their nourisher, pleased with his gift and rejoicing that with whom they left behind, and who have not yet joined them have nothing to fear or regret, rejoicing in God's grace and bounty. So this is something in the future. We're talking here in Barzakh. However, what you notice that people in Barzakh, they're experiencing emotions as well. So there is no end to emotions because they are intrinsic part of our spirituality. Okay, I hope that makes sense. Now, if you look at maybe ancient Greece, they had different names for love. They had agape, they had eros, they had philia, they described love and prescribed and sort of distributed for different people, for different situations. The same thing is in Islam. You can allocate this love for your children, you can allocate this love for the worldly gains, but Quran verse 9, Surah 9 verse 24, teaches us that if your fathers, your sons, your brothers, your wives, your relatives, wealth which you have obtained, commerce within you, fear, decline, and dwelling which you are pleased are more beloved to you than Allah and his messenger, than striving in his cause, then wait until Allah executes his commands, and Allah does not guide the defiant, disobedient people. So this talks about a test. So this verse in Quran talks about your belief systems, your attitude, how you showing up in dunya, and how you allocating those emotions of love or even attachments, right? Is it your families? Is it your gains? Are you scared to risk something for the cause of Allah? Is this a case that Prophet and his sunnah and his ways are less beloved to you than the bounties of Allah that he gave you already? So this is what I mean. Transcending emotions for the spiritual cause, into spiritual realm, is something that is encouraged in Quran. And again, we learn from Surah 3, verse 76, that yes, whoever fulfills his commitment and fears Allah, then indeed Allah loves those who fear him. So even fear, something so biological, something again innate, just like any emotion, something that you experience when you want to protect yourself in this fight, flight, fight response, you can capture it and transcend it into spiritual realms, and keep it for yourself for the benefit of your ahera. Okay, I hope that was beneficial. Don't forget to sign to my YouTube channel, ajstherapy.com. There's more videos coming every week, and I hope that those of you who find it beneficial find the courage to book an appointment with me. I offer free consultation, and the link is just on there.